with the next stage. It's called abstract operations by Piaget. It is the first time in life that somebody actually can step outside and look at their own behavior, their own self, from a other perspective. So here you're the diplomat, your identity is basically the identity of those you're with. You don't even have a separate identity. It's completely confounded and confused with the identity of the group that you belong with. Then you step out and you look back at that group and say, oh no, I'm special. I can see how I'm different from you all. And I want this recognized. And with that recognition of oneself as a separate being, one also starts to begin to recognize others as different. Now here the emphasis, this is an early recognition of that, but it is the first stage where I would say you can talk about a real self. And in the test, people will say, I am unique, I am special, I am me, in a sense of, look at me, I'm not like everybody else. Do you remember, just take a second, do you remember in your own becoming when that moment happened, when you for the first time didn't so much want to be part of a group, usually in school years, when you know, with your chums, when you really want to be part of this clique, and it really hurts if they don't accept you, when you start saying, oh, I don't care, I create my own group with those that are like me. That sense of becoming oneself and not being beholden or bound by the definitions of others is another expression of that. Do you remember that? Anybody can give me an example of where they found that to happen? Yes.
I'm not sure. Okay. My name's Deb. I was thinking of not wanting to be with my family as a teenager, starting to separate from them.
That is a piece of it, yes. Having multiple, not just one reference group, but starting to have multiple reference group and not being confused about that. Mm-hmm. Whereas the diplomat, when they are, let's say, in a church group with these values and perhaps a school group with these values, there is a conflict. They cannot negotiate if the values aren't identical. Then you just play along with this group in this way and in that group with the other, but you don't actually have the capacity to negotiate that difference. The expert is starting to do that, and the way he does that, or she, is by choosing their own reference groups. And the reference group is usually one of people who have the same expertise or the same craft. Now I'm listening very much to who is the authority in this field. I look at manuals. You know, what's the right way of doing things here? Often happens in a transition from high school to college. In college, this is often what we're trying to do, is to get actually people to move out of the diplomat into this more self-capable stage of the expert. Yes?
Is there a difference between the stars and the circles in your graph?
Yes, the star in the center, the red one, is where the center of gravity is now. Yeah. And what's below green is what you can look at.
Right, but there's a star and a circle there in this.
Yeah, it's just the continuing of the diagram. You can now look at yourself, how you looked at others and how others looked at you. Oh, so you have both perspectives, but you stand outside of that.
So star number one is?
The earliest one-directional capacity to only see outside.
Yes.
At the diplomat, you can look both forward and backward. You're aware what impression you make on others, and you see others in their own right.
Yes.
And now you can stand out of that and actually see yourself doing these two things.
I understand. Thank you.
being in relationship with others. Other questions? There will be Q&A time, and as we go along, I think because it's my own field of passion, it gets, to me, really exciting. I'm just getting you a little bit of... Here is a joke. Why is this a joke about the expert?
The person obviously needs help because it isn't spelled H-E-L-P. The expert says... The guy on the island obviously needs help. I assume it's a guy. Obviously needs help, but because it doesn't say H-E-L-P, the expert says, oh, well, he doesn't need help.
So so what can the expert not yet do? Spell? Yes. Yes. Use context, abstract, to prioritize, to see the big picture. Here, the big picture is obviously the words is meant to spell help. He cannot do that. He or she cannot do that. So what we have in the experts is, and it's a stereotype, and I'm aware of it, so I'm just sharing with you, when you go through these stages quickly like we do now, it's very easy to fall into kind of caricature. This is an enormous change and transformation from the diplomat to become an expert and become able to do what the expert does. And our culture, most cultures are very much run by experts. We couldn't be societies without having a good number of experts running our things. They're also the people who in any craft, in any field of expertise, go all the way to the limits. They just have such a need to make it better, to improve it, to have the newest. And when you work, again, in organizations, particularly in businesses, or you create product, they can be incredibly difficult to deal with because they always want the most perfect, the most technologically advanced way of doing things, whereas the manager or the whole organization may say, okay, let's look at the big picture. This competition is almost ready with their product. In 2 months, we have to be there first. And the expert will simply, that will be total torture to him, to release something in a beta version that isn't yet perfect. Lots of MIT grads. I mean, there's a whole world that you may recognize of experts that have trouble with this. I think there's, okay, the mottos of the experts are something like that. I'm special. Pay attention to me. I know best. And if I don't know now, I can look it up. I know the right people. I can give you an answer. They will often say, in my opinion, or the truth is, with a capital T, they know. In meetings, similar to green, if you have read some of Ken's work about the mean green and also the dysfunctional green, the expert is the one in the meeting who says, whatever is being said, he says, yes, but, and brings on another idea and another, again, because they cannot prioritize. All ideas are equally good. And there is a need of what we call one-upmanship. I have to sort of have the last word in order to feel myself, to feel really good about myself. I have to be the one who has the final answer. And always referring to authority. There is somebody out there that knows. And from the work that Perry did, for instance, at Harvard with male students during the college years, was the discovery that what a profound disappointment it is to a person at this stage when the professor says, well, no, I don't have the answer. We're here together to find out new answers or to explore this. This is like, oh my God, I came here to get the answers and now you say you don't have any? A real common experience in college.